Hello, Sekwan. I'm Mr. Wael Derwish. I'm happy because I'm with you after this long vacation because of COVID-19. Today, we will explain a grammar lesson we couldn't cover because of our long vacation. Repeated comparatives and double comparatives. Number one, repeated comparatives. Use repeated comparatives to describe continuing increases and decreases. Example, the birth rate is getting lower and lower. By the end of the 20th century, couples were waiting longer and longer to marry. Changes are occurring faster and faster. In these three examples, we noticed the repetition of comparatives, lower and lower, longer and longer, faster and faster, to describe continuing increases and decreases. 2. Use repeated comparatives with more or less to modify adjectives or adverbs that don't use an ER comparative form. When the adjective or adverb is understood, it may be omitted. Example, it's becoming more and more difficult to predict life expectancy. Difficult is not an ER comparative form, so we use more and more before it. It's less and less possible to raise birth rates in modern societies. Possible is not an ER comparative form, so we use less and less before. That's happening more and more often these days. Often is not an ER comparative form, so we use more and more before. 3. Use repeated comparatives with more, less, and fewer to compare nouns. When the noun is understood, it may be omitted. More and more people are marrying later. Fewer and fewer people are having children before they are 30. In the second example, people is in brackets. That means we can omit it. We can say the sentence like that. Fewer and fewer are having children before they are 30. Double comparatives. Use double comparatives to describe a cause and effect process. Example, the more education women get, the later they marry. Women are getting more education. This is the cause. They are marrying later. This is the effect. The less children studied, the more slowly they learn. Children studied less, the cause. They learned more slowly, the effect. The older one gets, the harder it can be to find a husband or wife. Note, when be is used in double comparatives, it is sometimes omitted. Example, the better the quality of healthcare is, the higher the life expectancy is. We noticed is in the first sentence, between brackets, we can omit it. Also is in the second sentence, between brackets, we can omit it. Be careful. Don't use the present or past continuous in either clause of a double comparative statement. Use the simple present or the simple past tense instead. Example, the longer couples wait to have children, the fewer children they have. Not, the longer couples are waiting to have children, the fewer they are having. Would you please circle the answer that correctly completes each sentence? Number one, more and more, fewer and fewer, the more people are getting divorced. It's not as common as before. Yeah, the answer is more and more. Number two, healthcare is getting longer and longer, better and better, more and more these days. More people can get care at affordable prices. Yes, better and better. Number three, the longer people are live, the more health problems they develop. Yes, live. Number four, fewer, fewer and fewer, the fewer adults live with their parents now. More of them lived with their parents before. Fewer and fewer. Great. Number five, the stricter their parents are, the more rebellious, more and more rebellious their children become. Yes, the more rebellious. Thank you.